Hello, everyone. This is Cheeza on Cheeza's YouTube channel. Wearing this shirt today, fantastic. So, if you did also noticed today, I have a little setup that I can kind of show, and I will be talking and looking at a new book that I have. So let's look at this so-called book. I'm talking about 5-minute Disney villain stories. Setting it right here. Yes, there's things in the background you can see, but right here, and if I do this correctly, I'm gonna read the first 5-minute story. Coop at the zoo with 101 Dalmatians. What? Cruella barked into her phone late one night. A smooth voice came over the line. Madame, horse is the name. Me and my best mate, Jesper, here would like to be honored to be your humble crooks. Cinderella grinned. Not the type to get her hands dirty, but with much dirty work to do, she had to put an ad in the paper in hopes of finding henchmen. It appeared she had her first candidates. Splendid! Meet me tomorrow at the local inn. 8 o'clock sharp. The next night, Cruella sped off to interview the two hopefuls. As she scanned the room, a ruckus erupted. It was my smarts we used to scam this hot meal, and for some reason, it's in your mouth. You wouldn't have known smarts if they fell from the sky and hit you on the your big head. Hit you on your big head. Cruella smiled, recognizing one of the voices. Cruella walked over to the bickering men. Enough, she said, and right away they both fell silent. Darlings, I'm Cruella DeVille. A pleasure, I'm sure. If you would like to become my new assistants, you must convince me you're in good fit. I'd like for you to steal an animal from the new zoo. Can you do it? She jingled her purse for an added effect, and the crooks eyed it with wild hunger. Just tell us when and where we'll be there, Jesper said. Horse nodded along eagerly. Excellent. We meet tomorrow at dusk at Regent's Park. The next evening, Cruella met Horse and Jasper outside the soon-to-open London Zoo. Get in there and quickly. Yes, madam. Which animal do you fancy we fetch for you, Miss Deville? Horse hollered. Not so loud, Cruella scolded. That one. She jabbed her finger at the newspaper photo of a polar bear. This'll be easy, madam, whispered Jasper, like taking babies from a candy. He nodded confidently. Be right back. All right, now, easy does it, Jasper guided Horse, who was working a large net into the sleeping polar bear's cage. But it turned out the animal was not in no mood to be bear napped. You just had to wake it up, didn't you? Jasper shouted at Horse as they made a hasty retreat. Well, you wasn't exactly quiet yourself, Horse shot back. Cruella turned crimson when she saw the duo without her promised prize. You cowards, she spouted. We're sorry, madam, Horse said. What about a smaller animal? A cheetah, perhaps? Koala glared at them. Finally, she sighed. I do have a soft spot for, well, spots, she cracked, and then quickly scowled at the two men. All right, a cheetah. And I'm coming with you this time to make sure you don't mess this up. But the cheetah was too fast for the slow-witted crooks, and when Horse and Jasper failed to steal a lion next, Cruella grew even more ferocious. When they failed at thieving an elephant, Cruella's eyes began to twitch. It seems clear as day that Horse and Jasper did not have what it took to crook. But Cruella was willing to give them one final shot. Try stealing one of the more docile little beasts, she instructed them. Do it, and do it now. Horse and Jasper waited no time breaking into the children's petting zoo. We got this one in the can, mate, Jasper said to Horse as they sauntered into the animal pens. But then the baby llamas spit in their faces. The piglets chased them into the mud, and the ducklings pecked at them in the pond. Outside the petting zoo, Cruella was growling even more impatient. Suddenly, the men appeared, and they ran right past her. Stampede, yelled Jasper. Run, shouted Horse. Cruella craned her neck to see the massive beasts that had inspired such terror in her would-be underlings. But all that scampered into the view was fuzzly ducklings, muddy piglets, sweet baby llamas, and bleeding baby goats. Cruella boiled over, realizing that Horse and Jasper must have accidentally released the petting zoo animals. Idiots, she yelled. Oh, that's a good photo. Look at the Cruella DeVille Coop. She had enough of Horse and Jasper hijinks. You complete imbeciles, she shouted as they ran past her again. She looked around. What an utter disaster. Were these really the best henchmen she could find? Carla would have to do everything herself. One beastly animal she could have gotten away with, but she didn't want the police on high alert because someone had stolen the entire children's petting zoo. I'll handle this, she grumbled. She retrieved a car and corralled the animals back into their cages and pens. Eventually, my car, it's filthy. You are good for nothing. You can't even clean up your own mess. Didn't I mention I hate getting my hands dirty? Cruella roared to Horse and Jasper. This is the last time I ever work with you. You idiots, Horse suggested. Complete imbeciles, Jasper offered. Shut up, Cruella screamed. The men flinched. Cruella was fuming. She stomped off into the night. Horse and Jasper looked at each other and shrugged, thinking how they could make it up to Cruella. Okay. A little while later, Cruella sagged up the stairs to her room at the manor. She opened the door and her jaw dropped. Her bedroom had been completely transformed. The furniture had all been uncovered, and everything sparkled like new. Just then, there was a tap at her door. Horse and Jasper were standing in the hallway. Now you don't have to get your hands any dirtier than they are, Horse burst out, triumphant. We can't fix up our own messes, but we sure could fix up yours, madam, added Jasper. You did, didn't you? Well, you did a rather mediocre job. But Cruella couldn't fight the smile. It is kind of nice to have company here. It can get a bit lonely. Okay, fine. I'll have you two as my assistants. Horse and Jasper cheered as Cruella flopped down on her newly made bed, dirt and all. Now, let's see if your bacon is better than your thieving. Thank you for listening to this story. I will be trying to start to do these periodically here and there. I have no set times for these that I'm going to start to read, and I have a few of those books. So, hopefully, you guys did have a great time listening to this story, and I will be gladly being able to read more of those later on. Thank you. Good night.